Welcome everybody to Astrorisamoon Talk Radio. We're doing aspects today. We're talking about a Pinnacle date happening tomorrow, May 23rd. And this information is from last month's April's Taurus New Moon's 28-day forecast. So this is finishing up the Taurus New Moon energy from April. It's revisiting itself on May 23rd, moving into the AM of May 24th. And so we are going to revisit that energy. It's going to be a very strong energy on May 23rd, moving into the AM of 24th. So let's talk about that. What I do want to mention to you about this revisiting of the Taurian energy for this date is also what's important is that we have May 23rd moving into the 24th, a stellium happening. So we have 4 planets in house 12 on this Pinnacle date. Those 4 planets are Moon, Mercury, Uranus, and Venus. Mercury, though, is in Taurus, and Moon, Uranus, and Venus are in Aries. So Taurus and Aries are sharing house 12 at this time. Let's talk about these aspects, why this is such an important date for us to pay attention to. The moon is conjuncting Uranus. This is in itself an impulsive and sudden change type energy. And these impulsive and sudden changes are occurring within our family and with our close associates and associations at this time. The moon being in a state of constant change, conjuncting Uranus means for this day, what we plan may not go as planned. So just be on guard for that. Another aspect happening is that Mars is opposite Saturn. And so this is very strong for these dates that I mentioned. And again, it is emphasizing blocks or disappointments related to your movement and plan. So not only do we need to pay attention to how we are engaging with our family and close friends and associates, but also pay attention to the plans that you have made regarding your actual physical traveling. You're on the highway, planes, trains, automobiles, have a backup plan, have some extra cash, because we just don't know what's going to happen. Okay, also during this time, keep your temper under control and your mind focused. Both Uranus and Saturn are at 26 degrees. Uranus is in Aries in house 12. Saturn is in retrograde and is in Sagittarius in house 8. So we have a stellium of 4 planets in house 12, strongly activating house 12. But then we also have Saturn retrograde in house 8. So we have 2 houses that deal with some type of degeneration and as well as regeneration, actually. So house 12 and house 8 dealing with degeneration and regeneration. Very important then to pay attention to that, just to be aware of the energies: regeneration, degeneration, transformation, other people's values, other people's money, health, stagnation, all of that happening simultaneously during this time frame of May 23rd moving into the AM of May 24th. Okay, another thing we pay attention to is the fact that we have, again, Uranus and Saturn both being 26 degrees. So it's emphasizing the 26 degree meaning, which is it has a strong influence on close personal relationships, has a strong influence on contracts, And it has a strong influence on both good and bad news. So we want to be in a state of preparation so that we're ready for whatever can possibly go down. Again, you want to make sure that you have your money, extra money. Make sure that you have a spare tire. Make sure that you have a you might want to look at holding off on some type of contract or re-evaluating, not re-evaluating, but just researching more on that contract, that type of thing. Okay. Again, from the Taurus new moon forecast, we're talking about the Pinnacle dates, May 23rd, moving into the AM of May 24th. It is said that this is a challenging day, so some issues with regret can flare up. Check again in on your situation, gather more information before you throw in the towel. So don't allow frustration to take control of your decisions, okay? If you've scheduled plans for the day, again, this is a repeat. Check on the strength and the productivity. If you're one of those people that does use an oracle form, a form of oracle to check in, then that would be fantastic to do that so that you can navigate through that day and possibly bypass some hiccups, okay, especially when they don't have to happen. Because something unexpected can throw a monkey wrench into our plans. Mars is also sextiling Uranus. This is an impulsive energy. So make sure you are alert in your transactions and your interactions with others. So don't just, just lollygag around and not pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to your surroundings. Again, pay attention to how you're driving. Pay attention, drive defensively during this time. And also avoid being gullible. So that's really important because there's this undercurrent of gullibleness happening with these dates where people are just they're just not, they're being, I guess, too trusting. And you want to pay attention to that. So regardless of how much creative fun you want to have, don't be gullible. And I mention creative fun because, yes, the last aspect I'm going to mention is this Venus conjunct Uranus. And Venus conjunct Uranus wants to enjoy itself, whether it's sexual creativity, spending money, gambling, or just loving up on itself. And in this case, loving yourself, yet in a different way. Like spontaneously getting a facial, spontaneously getting a funky, fun haircut, spontaneously dyeing your beard blue. I mean, just, anything, spending your money on things that you don't need, but you just wanted to because you just had to have it, though you knew you don't need it. Just, whatever that looks like. Also, mentioning this spontaneity, a lot of us have been responding to these aspects at least a week prior to May 23rd. If you think about the weekend, you probably were really just doing a lot of creative, fun things. And continue to do that. But just be on guard so that what you experience is not unpleasant, but more so pleasant. Okay. So just to reiterate, this energy is it's almost like a return of the Taurus new moon before it completely fizzles out. The Taurus new moon of April, I think that was April 26th of last month, is returning at this point in time as another moon in Taurus for May 23rd through the 24th. It's like it meets itself. It does a 180 Or I should say it does a 360. It does like a 360, not a 180. It does a 360 before it fizzles out and then moves into the next new moon. So with this returning of another Taurus moon at this time, it is an explosive energy right now where it's going to go out with a bang before we move into the Gemini new moon. And so at this moment, May 23rd, moving into 24th, it is a Pinnacle time. Okay, we are experiencing the last phases of the messages from the Taurus new moon of April. And we're going to experience this again with a pow. So let's just be ready. And let's move through that. Let's do any type of cleanup. Let's be prepared so that when we do go into the Gemini new moon, officially on May 25th, we will not be dragging in some unnecessary stuff from this Taurus time. Okay, so remember, everyone, to know your truest self, follow the moon. We're going to chime in a few days after this Gemini new moon forecast that's coming out on the 24th. So I hope that you all have a wonderful Gemini time, new moon time, and we will talk soon. Take care.